My name is Cheryl, and I'm 33 years old. I'm a writer, and my debut mystery novel was a huge success. I've been married to Thomas for 8 years, and together we have a 7-year-old son, Gary. For the first few years of our marriage, Thomas worked, but a couple of years ago, when my writing career took off, he decided to leave his job. He now stays at home, though he occasionally disappears to play the slots at the casino. Lately, however, I've been facing something far more unsettling. Thomas has been having an affair, and to my shock, he's been using my credit card to lavish his mistress with gifts. I've tried to endure this betrayal, all for Gary's sake, but the pressure is building, and I don't know how much longer I can pretend it doesn't hurt. One morning, I noticed something odd. Thomas was dressed in a suit. This was strange because, in recent months, he hadn't had any need for professional attire. When I asked him about it, he seemed taken aback, but quickly regained his composure, saying he was heading to a job interview. He hinted at the possibility of going back to work, and I, hoping this was the start of a change, wished him luck. But my doubt crept in later that night when he returned home at 2 a.m. I was working late, trying to meet a deadline, when the front door creaked open. He stumbled into the living room, reeking of alcohol and perfume, his suit, now disheveled, and his unlocked phone, loosely gripped in his hand, only fueled my growing suspicions. Unable to resist, I picked up his phone. What I saw made my stomach drop. The texts confirmed my worst fears. Thomas was having an affair, but the real blow came when I realized his lover was Gloria, my close friend. The messages revealed they had spent the evening at a luxurious restaurant, one with romantic views, a place he had never once taken me. I felt physically sick, the betrayal cutting deep. Gloria, someone I'd confided in for years, had been the one to destroy the trust one thought we shared, and she, too, was married. In a daze, I quickly forwarded the damning evidence to my own phone, knowing I needed it for later. I didn't want to wake Thomas yet. I needed time to think, to plan what came next. The next morning, Thomas acted as though nothing had happened. I decided to confront him casually. "Hey, Thomas, about yesterday," I began. "You said you had an interview, but you didn't get home until pretty late. What happened?" He shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my gaze. I ran into a friend after the interview, and we ended up grabbing a drink," he muttered. "A friend?" I pressed. "Someone I don't know?" "I don't have to explain everything to you," he snapped, the irritation clear in his voice. "Right," I replied, my voice quiet, the weight of the situation settling in. I could feel my trust in him slipping away, and with it, the painful realization that my worst fears about his affair with Gloria were true. I had been doing my best to shield Gary from the chaos at home, but my brother's gentle words cut through my defenses. "Thomas has hurt you enough that even Gary's starting to notice. Are you thinking about staying with him?" The thought of divorce weighed heavily on me. I feared what it would do to Gary, but just as I was lost in those thoughts, my son unexpectedly walked in. "It's okay, Mom, I'm on your side," he said, his voice firm and unshakable. "I don't want anyone who makes you sad. As long as I have you, I'm fine." His maturity took me by surprise, and tears welled up in my eyes. "Thank you, Gary," I said, my voice thick with emotion. I turned to my brother and added, "And thank you, too." With the support of my son and brother, I finally found the strength to move forward. Gary and I began making plans to leave, carefully timing our move for when Thomas would be away with Gloria. My brother helped us pack, ensuring everything was ready for a quick exit. The night before Thomas was scheduled to leave, I knew it was time to confront him. I found him packing a suitcase in our bedroom. "Thomas, why are you packing?" I asked, feigning surprise. "Oh, this? I'm going on a trip with some friends tomorrow," he said, avoiding my gaze. "A trip? You didn't mention anything about that," I probed, suspicious. "It's a last-minute thing, nothing serious," he muttered, his tone dismissive, as though he wanted the conversation to end. "Are you sure it's just with your friends?" I asked, my voice steady despite the storm brewing inside me. Thomas stiffened, his discomfort obvious. Still, he clung to his lie. "Aren't you insistent?" he shot back. "All right, I get it. Enjoy your trip with your friends," I said, my voice laced with irony. "I would have enjoyed it anyway," he muttered under his breath, but I could tell his confidence had shattered. Now everything was clear. My brother, my son, and my own resolve had set the stage for a new chapter. The time for inaction had passed. Later, as I walked out of Thomas's room, my mind raced. Had he been honest from the start, maybe we could have separated amicably, with discussions about alimony and child support. There had been a time when I loved him deeply, especially when my first novel didn't take off, and he stood by me, but the person I loved was gone, replaced by someone who betrayed me. I wanted to move forward without bitterness, but I knew, for my son and my future, I had to guard my heart. The time to act had arrived. The next morning, after he had left for his trip, I checked the drawer. Sure enough, he had taken my credit card again. I called the credit card company, reporting it as lost and having it deactivated. When Gary woke up, his eyes shone with excitement. "Mom, today's the day, right? The day we moved to our new house?" All my doubts melted away. "Yes, Gary," I smiled, his joy infectious. "I canceled the card, and now we're starting fresh in our new home." With my brother's help, the move was seamless. We transferred our things to the new house, while Thomas's belongings were sent to Gloria's. The next day, as we settled into our new space, a sense of peace washed over me. The future suddenly felt bright again. When Thomas called, his voice sounded uncertain. "Hello, Cheryl, what's going on? This trip is turning out to be more expensive than I thought. Could you send me some money?" he asked, feigning nonchalance. I knew what he was really asking. He was struggling because I had deactivated the credit card he had been using. The nerve of him. "Did you budget for this trip yourself?" I asked, trying to keep my voice even. "I can't lend you any money," I continued, standing firm. His tone shifted to frustration. "Don't be like that. If you don't help me, I'll be the only one not enjoying this trip." "You mean you'll be the only one?" I corrected him, my sarcasm cutting through. "After all, you're on a trip. Want to show only the good parts, right? Too bad the card you took isn't working anymore," I added coolly. "What are you talking about, Cheryl? What card?" He played innocent, but I wasn't buying it. "Don't act dumb," I countered, my voice firm. "You're panicking because you're not making any sense." "I don't know anything about a card," he said, his voice faltering. "Enough," I snapped. "I know about the affair with Gloria. You thought I didn't notice?" "No, it's not what you think. I'm not cheating," he stammered, but his desperation only made it worse. Standing with my son and brother nearby, my rage boiled over. "Stop making excuses. You had a family, and you cheated with another woman, and on top of that, you've been using someone else's credit card. Do you even realize how despicable you are?" "Cheryl, calm down," he tried to soothe, but it was too late. The truth was out, and I couldn't hold it in anymore. "How can I calm down when it's you I'm dealing with?" I shouted. "Just so you know, I have no intention of forgiving you, and as for Gloria, she can find someone else. Don't ever show your face to Gary or me again." With that, I hung up, but Gloria soon called. "Cheryl, what did you do?" she demanded. I answered, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "Long time no see. How's your trip going with my husband?" "Shut up, what's going on?" she spat. "What do you mean? You got Thomas's things at your place, didn't you?" I asked. "Yeah, I sent them there," I said coolly, "and I made sure to include a letter explaining everything. Enjoy it." Gloria's voice cracked. "This isn't a joke. My husband found out, and now he's furious." "Good," I said, my voice cold. "You did this to yourself, and now you're paying for it." She yelled at me, her frustration palpable. "You're the worst. I thought you were my friend." "I thought you were my friend, too, but you had an affair with my husband." "Forgiveness? Not happening." She tried to downplay it. "It was just a joke. I didn't mean anything by it." "Doesn't matter. I'm filing for divorce. And yes, you had an affair. I'm getting compensation, so get ready." "Compensation? I didn't agree to anything like that," she protested. "Well, you'll hear about it soon enough," I said, my voice final. Her panic became clear. "I can't pay any compensation. I'm a housewife." "Too bad," I said bluntly. "Figure it out, or ask your husband, though I doubt he'll help." With that, I ended the call and blocked her number. Soon, I engaged my lawyer to finalize the divorce and seek compensation for the credit card charges. I also demanded child support. The financial strain was too much for Gloria's marriage. After the settlement, her husband filed for divorce, and she was forced to move in with her parents, who quickly turned her away. With nowhere else to go, Gloria now works night shifts at a bar to make ends meet. Thomas, meanwhile, sought solace from Gloria, but overwhelmed by her own problems and angry at him for causing her divorce, she ended things. Thomas now juggles several part-time jobs, struggling to make ends meet. If he falls behind on alimony or child support, I'll be sure to pursue what he owes without hesitation. As for me, life is finally settling into a peaceful rhythm. Gary is growing up so fast, and I'm dedicated to giving him the love and stability he deserves. We've left the turmoil behind us, and the future feels brighter than ever.